Welcome, everyone. Today we'll be discussing the exciting 2022 miniseries A Taste of First Love. Our story begins with Sunwi, a successful sales executive at a cosmetics company, having a drink with her boss and coworkers. But the evening takes an unexpected turn when the enigmatic chairman of HBE Commerce, Bae, joins them. As Sunwi meets Bae for the first time, she can't help but wonder how someone so young could have achieved such success. But things really start to heat up when Bae follows Sunwi to the washroom and pulls her onto the couch. Despite her reservations, Sunwi can't deny the chemistry between them. However, things get complicated when Bae realizes that Sunwi is allergic to peaches, the very fruit drink he ordered for the business meeting. In an effort to make amends, he tenderly applies anti-allergic ointment to her neck. As the two of them sit together, Bae tries to make small talk, but Sunwi is determined to keep things strictly professional. Will their attraction be enough to overcome the obstacles standing in their way? As Sunwi prepares to leave, Bae makes a bold move and invites her to join his company, offering her better opportunities and facilities than her current job. Sunwi resists at first, claiming that she's not the kind of person who would sacrifice everything for her career. But Bae sees something in Sunwi that she doesn't see in herself. He believes that she would do anything for a relationship. And it's at this moment that we learn that these two have a complicated past. They were once in love, but things have changed and Sunwi wants to keep their relationship in the past. Despite her insistence on moving on, Bae can't let her go and holds on to her, accidentally tearing her dress in the process. Mortified, Bae apologizes and wraps his coat around her waist before leaving. As he walks away, he turns back and asks if he'll ever be the right person for her. But Sunwi remains silent and walks away. The movie then flashes back to 5 years ago, when Sunwi and Bae were still together. It's revealed that Sunwi only became Bae's girlfriend as a way to get revenge on his sister, who had stolen Sunwi's ex-boyfriend. She admits that she never really loved Bae, seeing him as nothing more than a car mechanic while she was the daughter of a wealthy businessman. In the present, Sunwi returns home to find her boyfriend Ren Mingyuan waiting for her. He asks if she wants to go out the next day, as he's received a bonus from work. Sunwi expresses a desire to go to the opera, but Ren shoots her down, saying the tickets are too expensive. Instead, he suggests they go to a restaurant. Meanwhile, Sunwi's friend Q is talking about the weather forecast and how it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. Q comes up with a plan to spend the evening at a bar, playing fun games. As the night continues at the bar, Q introduces the rules for their drinking game. The two people who draw the King and Queen of Hearts will be paired up and must spend the night in the same room. Just as the game is about to start, Bae arrives and asks if he can join in. Despite her reservations, Sunwi agrees to stay and play along. And, as fate would have it, Sunwi and Bae end up being paired for the night. As Sunwi heads to the bathroom, Bae follows her and once again asks if she ever loved him. Sunwi denies it, telling him to move on from the past just like she has. But Bae tells her that he still loves her and that to him, their relationship isn't over. He moves in to kiss her, but stops himself at the last moment and walks away. Later, Sunwi receives a call from Q inviting her to a performance at the opera house, making her happy. After the show, Sunwi thanks Q for securing VIP seats, but Q reveals that it was her friend Bae who provided the tickets. Suddenly, Q gets a call from a guy telling her to make an excuse and leave immediately. Q follows his instructions and as soon as she's gone, Bae approaches Sunwi and offers her a ride home. As Bae drives Sunwi home, he can't help but wonder why her boyfriend didn't accompany her. Sunwi makes an excuse about Ren being preoccupied, but Bae isn't convinced. He tells Sunwi that if her partner doesn't have time for her, they either don't deserve her or no longer love her. When they arrive at Sunwi's home, she hugs Ren and tells him she's tired, but Ren remembers that he needs to return his friend's bike and leaves, leaving Sunwi feeling sad. As Ren walks away, Bae notices and calls Sunwi to ask if she's truly happy with him. But Sunwi hangs up the phone without answering. The next morning, Ren sees the tickets to the opera performance and gets upset with Sunwi for attending despite their limited budget. Sunwi explains that Q's friend gifted them the tickets, but Ren warns her not to owe anyone anything. Later, Ren considers buying a new apartment and visits a real estate office. When the manager asks who he's purchasing the apartment for, Ren asks for more time to gather the funds. As he's waiting, he sees two girls leave with a gift and asks if he'll receive one too. The manager tells him that gifts are only given to customers who have purchased apartments. Just then, Bae arrives and gives Ren a shower doll as a gift, making him happy. He also mentions that his girlfriend loves the same brand. While chatting, the pair inquire about Ren's feelings for his girlfriend and he responds that as a man, he should be frugal with women or else they will expect more from him after work. Ren then goes home and gives Wei the shower doll, but she notices it is only meant for men. Suddenly, Ren receives a message from Bei offering tickets to the spa club, which excites Ren and he shares the news with Wei, mentioning he has reserved tickets for the spa club. However, at the club, Wei becomes annoyed with the vegetarian options and tells Ren he should have checked before booking the tickets. Ren dismisses her complaints and tells her not to argue while eating. Shortly after, Ren gets a call from Bei inviting him to meet Mr. Liang, the CEO of a successful software company. Excited by the opportunity, Ren agrees to get rid of his irritating girlfriend and tells Bei that his career is the top priority and he can have any woman he wants once he is wealthy. Ren then makes an excuse to leave for a business meeting. As Wei relaxes in the water, Bei appears and she decides to leave. However, she slips and falls on him. Quickly standing up, Bei asks about her boyfriend, to which she responds that he's coming. Bei tries to convince her that Ren is uninterested in her and leads her to overhear Ren's business conversation as evidence. He then says that Ren has no time for her and doesn't prioritize her, but Wei ignores him and walks away. Over time, Wei and Ren start arguing over small matters. Amidst this, Wei receives a call from her father asking for more money. One night, Ren is at a bar with friends and one asks if he plans to marry his girlfriend. To everyone's shock, Ren says he only dated her because she was a businessman's daughter, but now considers her a burden. When Wei hears this, she becomes angry and pours Ren's drink on him before walking out and ending their relationship by packing his belongings and telling him to leave. Bei's assistant, Kim, tells him about an invitation from Mr. Liang to meet some attractive women. Bei, however, declines, saying he's busy. Kim and the others ask about his girlfriend, and he replies that they'll be getting married soon. He advises Bei to never give up on true love. Later, Wei is having a drink with Mr. Xian when she goes to the bathroom. While she's gone, he puts drugs in her drink. When she returns, she drinks it and becomes unconscious. Mr. Xian takes her to a hotel room and tries to touch her, but Bei arrives, punches him, and calls the police. Liao Yin-chu scolds Wei for not bringing in more clients and hands her a list of well-known clients with a 1-month deadline. One of the people on the list is Bei's sister, Ling Fei. Ling Fei remembers how Wei abandoned her brother and takes revenge by making Wei search for pearls in the pool in exchange for the deal. Wei agrees and jumps into the pool, where Ling Fei takes her picture and sends it to Bei. When Bei sees the picture, he becomes worried and goes to help Wei. Wei tries to do it on her own but becomes dizzy and is about to collapse. Bei saves her and brings her to a room where he takes care of her. The following day, Wei meets with Ling Fei and gives her all of her pearls, but Ling Fei insists that one is still missing and refuses to agree to the deal. Ling Fei brings up the past, but Wei insists that she can break up with anyone she wants. Bei arrives and asks his sister to leave. Later at home, Wei discovers that Bei saved her from being assaulted by Mr. Xian. The next morning, Wei goes to Bei's office to thank him for saving her. In response, he asks her to help him choose an outfit for an upcoming conference. When Wei arrives at Bei's house, she finds his closet in disarray and decides to organize it. She also chooses an outfit for him. Bei then asks Wei to manage his closet from now on. Wei wonders why he is still interested in her despite how she has treated him and mentions that she is broke and he could have his pick of other girls who meet his standards. Bei hugs Wei from behind and promises to truly love her, but she ignores him and walks away. The following day, Wei and her senior colleague, Yinsu, meet with Bei at his office. He agrees to work with their company and gives all the credit to Wei. Later that evening, Bei joins Wei on her evening walk and offers her a drink. He asks if she truly despises him, and she responds that it's a secret. Wei becomes intoxicated and Bei drives her home. As he is about to leave, she stops him and tells him how much she missed him, and asks him not to leave her. In the next scene, Wei is at work when the manager tells her she has been promoted. She is overjoyed and decides to celebrate with her coworkers. Yinsu, who is envious of Wei, plots against her. After work, they go to a bar where Yinsu orders a peach-flavored cake. Wei gets drunk and goes on stage to perform, but her allergy kicks in and she starts itching and taking off her clothes. People in the bar start taking pictures of her. Bei arrives at the bar and takes Wei away. On the way home, he finds out that Yinsu was behind the incident and instructs his assistant to keep an eye on her. Once they get home, he gives her medicine and puts her to bed. The following morning, Bei informs Wei that Yinsu was behind the previous night's events. They also discover that Yinsu has been sharing business secrets with a rival company. Wei and their manager confront Yinsu and report her to the police. The next day, Wei calls Bei to express her gratitude for his help. As a gesture of goodwill, Bei invites Wei to his home at a later time. When she arrives, she discovers that he has created several paintings. She also finds some of her own paintings and is embarrassed by them. She tries to get rid of them, but Bei stops her and offers to buy them. When she declines, he starts teaching her how to paint so she can improve. Later, Wei creates a painting and goes to Bei's office to show it to him, but she finds Ling Fei there instead. She asks about Bei's whereabouts and Ling Fei tells her that he went on a date with the daughter of a wealthy businessman. Ling Fei also advises Wei to stop bothering Bei, as they are not on the same social level. As Wei leaves the office, she sees Bei with another woman named Liang Wang King and becomes upset, although Bei is not interested in Wang King. The following day at work, Bei seems worried about Wei, but his assistant reassures him that he still has a chance with her if he's jealous. Afterward, he calls Wang King and agrees to work with her company, as long as she assists him. Meanwhile, Wei is considering hiring a model to promote their product and comes across a photo of Wang King while looking through potential candidates. Q tells Wei that Wang King is one of the top models in the industry, so Wei decides to hire her. During Wang King's photo shoot for Wei's company, Bei comes to pick her up for lunch and invites Wei to join them. While they eat, Bei behaves affectionately toward Wang King, causing Wei to feel jealous. However, she secretly texts Q to have a handsome man pretend to be her boyfriend. Soon after, a man arrives and speaks fondly to Wei, even holding her hand and taking her with him. Later that night, Bei approaches Wei and confesses that he knows about her fake boyfriend. He also makes it clear that there is nothing going on between him and Wang King. He then forces her into his car and drives recklessly, trying to get the truth out of her. She remains silent until Bei becomes emotional and asks why she broke up with him, hoping that he'll stop the car. She finally admits that her father was imprisoned because of his business and she didn't want it to affect Bei. Upon hearing this, he stops the car and asks why she is rejecting him now. Wei explains that the gap between them has grown and she doesn't deserve him. In response, Bei says he doesn't need anything superficial, he just needs her. He also vows to protect and support her in any situation, causing her to become emotional. After this, they start dating and their first date is at a haunted house. After their date, Bei and Wei kiss in the car before he drives her home. As their relationship continues to thrive, Wei asks Bei about his hobbies one day. He reveals to her that he has a passion for geology and reading about celestial objects such as stars, planets, and galaxies. Inspired by this, Wei decides to decorate her room with star-themed decorations and lights to resemble outer space. She also thanks him for never giving up on their relationship, and he replies that as long as they are together, he is satisfied. Just as they are about to kiss, they are interrupted by a phone call. In the next scene, Wei is startled when Ling Fei suddenly slaps her while she's on her phone. Ling Fei begins yelling at Wei, claiming that she's trying to seduce Bei for financial gain. Confused, Wei asks Ling Fei what she means. Ling Fei explains that Bei has been paying for all of her family's expenses. Upon hearing this, Wei goes to Bei's office and finds her father asking for more money. She confronts the old man and tears up the check before Bei sends him away to speak with Wei privately. She shouts at Bei, demanding to know why he didn't tell her about this. Bei's assistant, Kim, reveals that Wei's father was in debt and being pursued by loan sharks. Bei paid off all the debts and is now covering the living expenses so that the old man won't pressure Wei. Wei apologizes and promises to repay Bei before leaving. Bei then puts on a teddy bear costume to try to lift Wei's spirits. He also gives her presents in public, but she suggests that he not do so in front of her colleagues because they might ask for gifts as well once they find out he's her boyfriend. Upon hearing this, Bei announces that Wei will have complete control of his finances after they get married. One day, as Wei is walking down the street, some people approach her and throw litter at her. They harass her because of her father's negative business reputation. Devastated, she heads to Bei's office, but she hears him talking to Ling Fei on the way. Bei tells Ling Fei that he's only pretending to be nice to Wei and that he'll dump her and take revenge once she falls for him. This devastates Wei, and she returns home. Later that night, Bei visits her house and asks what's wrong. Wei tells him to stop pretending to care and be happy, as she's already heartbroken. Bei realizes that Wei overheard his conversation with Ling Fei and tries to explain that he was lying to his sister to avoid her plots against them. However, Wei doesn't want to be in a relationship with scheming and manipulation and begs Bei to leave her alone. After a few months have passed, Wei learns from the news that Ling Fei was the one who spread rumors about her father's business and instigated the attack against her. She also discovers that Bei had aided the police in capturing his sister. Realizing that Bei was not on Ling Fei's side, Wei goes to his office. Upon arriving, his assistant tells her that Bei has gone to a place where he used to go to reminisce about the past. Without wasting any time, Wei begins searching for him at all of his favorite locations and eventually ends up at his house. The series ends with Wei finally finding Bei, who is looking at a picture of her, and the two of them reuniting.